All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, apparently, President Biden has been going after fracking in the energy sector very aggressively, and we're going to get into some clips discussing that very topic right now. Now, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while you're watching. Now, let's get into it.
I was in Massachusetts about a month ago on the site of the largest old coal plant in America. Guess what? It costs them too much money. They can't count. No one's building new coal plants because they can't rely on it, even if they have all the coal guaranteed for the rest of the existence of the plant. So it's going to become a wind generation. And all they're doing is going to save them
A wind generation?
a hell of a lot of money, and using the same transmission line they transmitted the coal-fired electric on. We're going to be shutting these plants down all across America.
All right, guys. Now, let's unpack that, right? Now, I know it's hard to follow along what Biden says. He's stumbling on his words. What he said was written for him. You know, he's just going according to plan. But let's be honest, wind generators aren't going to power America. We still need energy. Energy creates jobs. This anti-fracking stance is insane, and they only follow through with it to pander for votes. They losing votes. They losing votes in all type of places. So they need to hold on to them any way they can. We're gonna get into this clip from Fox News though, and they gonna further get into it. All right, so let's get into this.
Here he was in New York over the weekend.
There is no more drilling. I haven't formed any new drilling. That was before I was president. We're trying to work on that, get that done.
But that anti-drilling stance comes as gas prices are still unusually high. The president points out that they are well below their peak back in June, tweeting this. Right now, the most common price at gas stations across the country is $3.19 per gallon. That's progress. But
no, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. No one is believing that, because see, the thing is, when you take the average across the country, and you know, let's say you happen to live in a major city, they lump in all those cities where the gas might be cheap. Man, that's just not real, man. I live in the Chicago area, and you know, they tapped into the strategic oil reserve. The prices were going down for a little bit a few months back, but I've seen the prices increasing, and over here by my house it's right back up to $4.69. So gas is going back up, man. The American people aren't dumb enough to believe that the gas prices right now are progress.
But that metric he used, most common price, understates the actual average price Americans are paying. And Twitter flagged that tweet, adding some context, noting that the average gas price is significantly higher, more like $3.80 a gallon, according to AAA. Now, all of this follows last week's assertion by the president that he would shut down coal plants.
No one's building new coal plants because they can't rely on it, even if they have all the coal guaranteed for the rest of the existence of the plant. We're going to be shutting these plants down all across America and having wind and solar.
Okay, that may please progressives, but that is a tough stance in a number of states like Pennsylvania. And West Virginia's Democratic Senator Joe Manchin was incensed, saying in a statement, being cavalier about the loss of coal jobs for men and women in West Virginia and across the country who literally put their lives on the line to help build and power this country is offensive and disgusting. The White House quickly offered the president's regrets, if anyone was offended, saying that his words had been twisted.
Wind and solar still takes energy to power it, so we got to stop playing games. It's a shame that they play games with the American people's lives over politics and wanting to remain in these seats. If you're not qualified to do it, get out, man, because people's lives are literally at stake with these policies that's trying to be passed, man. All this energy stuff. People can't go out here and buy Teslas. People can't afford Teslas. Most people want to go fill up their gas tank like normal. Me personally, I don't want a Tesla. I'm perfectly fine with just filling up my car with gas. I want to sit at a station and wait for 30 minutes and nothing like that. But let's see what they're talking about right here.
Back to you guys.
All right, Doug Lazader live for us. Thank you so much. Thanks. The Wall Street Journal has some thoughts on what the president had to say. The editorial board saying, quote, every so often, President Biden blurts out what he really thinks, even if it's politically or diplomatically embarrassing. No doubt Democrats running for Senate in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, states where economies and electric grids depend on coal, hope voters didn't hear what Mr. Biden said. But voters should know what they're voting for, even if Mr. Manchin now claims he didn't. Former Keystone XL pipeline worker Neil Crabtree is here to react. Neil, the Wall Street Journal says that the president blurted it out not once but twice. First, it was the coal comment, then the White House walked it back, and then he comes out with this no more drilling comment yesterday. And this is just a few days ahead of the midterm elections. Obviously, the economy is the #1 issue on everybody's mind. When you hear the president say something like this, what goes through your mind?
Good morning, Carly. Well, I think the most aggravating part about it is I don't know how many times over the last 18 months or 2 years that we hear, well, my administration isn't doing anything to hinder energy production in this country. And always blaming it on someone else, like the Ukraine war or COVID or even the oil companies themselves. And then he turns around and makes statements like this. It's extremely aggravating.
Yeah, and, you know, we saw.
Yeah, and I just have to say, to add on top of that, like he just said, there may be other outside forces affecting our gas. Okay, we can acknowledge that, but this administration is not making anything easier for the production of our own natural gas and energy in our own country. And they lie and pretend like they are making it easy, or that it's just the oil companies, it's just the Saudis, it's just Ukraine. Man, people are waking up to the lies, honestly.
What happened when he entered office? He killed the Keystone XL pipeline. Like we said, you lost your job, although you've landed on your feet. You have another one now. But he was politically criticized for that from Republicans, but also some Democrats in his party as well. When you look at the swing states, there are 15 coal plants in Ohio, 24 coal plants in Pennsylvania, Michigan, 13 plants. So do you think that this is an issue that could sway voters in those swing states just one day out from the midterms?
Bad timing too. Midterms, the tally's already in. I seen it. I seen the counts, but yeah, that was bad timing on Biden's part.
Well, you know, I'd like to say, if you're a voter and you haven't been through the early voting and you're going to go vote tomorrow, I hope this is one issue that you will look at, because as far as keeping any promises, this is one promise that Biden has kept. He has destroyed energy in this country, and I hope that some of the voters will look at the candidates who realize how important energy is in this country, and more importantly, how energy is tied to inflation, because I don't think the Fed's raising interest rates are going to get inflation under control, not to the point where it needs to be. We've got to realize that the part that energy plays in this.
Yeah, they are tied, and coal alone accounts for 22% of electricity in this country. So if what the president says turns out to be true, and he is successful in shutting down these coal plants, even though the White House is saying, well, that's not exactly what he meant, he's the one that said it. If he is successful in shutting down these plants and replacing them with wind or solar, what would that mean for Americans?
Well, we always hear the administration, you know, telling these workers to go get other jobs, and there's jobs in the green energy field. And a lot of times these workers, they get labeled as being scared of change. We're not scared of change. We're scared of stupidity, and that's what this administration has brought to the table when it comes to energy policies in this country.
You mentioned
when Trump was in office, I'm sure the people working in the energy sector, the companies, they had someone they could work with, you know, not just Trump himself, but, you know what I'm saying, trickle down all the way through the administration. They had people they could work with. That's why it was pumping, you know what I'm saying? It was active. But ever since the new administration came in, we saw the first day he's in office, he's signing executive orders to cut the Keystone pipeline and undo everything that Trump and his administration did.
The Biden administration reassuring people about those jobs in his green energy plans. Let's take a listen to him saying just that.
When we invest in climate resilience and infrastructure, we create opportunities for everyone. That's the heart of my jobs plan.
By helping families pay the upfront upfront cost for energy efficiency upgrades to their homes. We are also lowering energy bills, bringing down household costs, creating jobs, and fighting the climate crisis.
You're helping people pay for energy. You're helping people pay for green energy plans. Where's that money coming from that you're just helping us with? You know, where's that money coming from? They're not just giving us that money for free.
It's all connected.
But Neil, I don't need to tell you this. There's actually been a rapid decline in energy sector jobs since just last year. Petroleum companies jobs down more than 31,000. The coal industry down more than 7,000 jobs. And in the fuel technology sector, down more than 29,000 jobs. And
this administration's rhetoric is clearly has some correlation to these price drops.
Down more than 29,000 jobs. And I remember when John Kerry stood up there and said, everybody who lost their job when we shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, they can just get another job in wind or solar. How are those opportunities? Have you been able to find anything in that sector? Are you even looking?
Well, right now, our industry is concentrating on keeping the pipelines and the refineries that we do have up and running because we know how important they are. But the scary part about it is we've not added any capacity when the demand for oil and gas is on the rise. It's not on the decline. And as far as the vice president saying they're doing everything they can to lower energy bills, I don't see where it's happening. I see diesel prices through the roof, home heating oil, your energy bills. I don't understand what she's talking about, but that's nothing new.
Yeah, well, inflation and energy are certainly on the ballot this election cycle, so something tells me you're going to be very excited to vote come tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait till tomorrow. I just wish the president was on the ballot. I'll have to wait 2 more years to get him.
You will then, 2 years.
Yeah, I voted today, you guys. Yeah, so that was interesting. You know, just a little piece to, you know, discuss what Biden's talking about. I stopped listening to what he says because I know he's just up there lying. And I can barely understand what he's saying sometimes. But you know, I'm gonna start focusing in a little bit more on it. But yeah, let me know what you thought about that in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about these gas prices. Let me know what you guys think about inflation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till next time, I'm out, you guys. Peace.